Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In today's video, we are talking about Twitch, CD Projekt Red, limited run games, and Granblue Fantasy versus. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, today Twitch had a town hall to provide some updates on their upcoming changes to their hateful conduct and harassment policies. This got a lot of people talking. During the town hall, Sarah Clemens goes on to state that negatively targeting someone with sexually focused insults like simp and incel and virgin will no longer be allowed. Any emote that has the word simp in it will no longer be allowed. Now obviously these comments did not go over well with parts of the community. If you type in Twitch bans simp into Google, you'll get a ton of results from news sites, from Twitter posts, as well as Reddit posts. I completely understand what Twitch is trying to do here. They're trying to create a safe space where people can watch a stream kind of in peace and not worry about being attacked by anybody for any reason whatsoever. But at the same time here, Twitch is kind of doing things the wrong way. Banning specific words isn't going to accomplish what they want. People will just find ways to circumvent that and just come up with brand new words. It's really easy to change out a word like simp for something like sump or even chump or anything like that. I don't necessarily think banning specific words is going to have the effect they want. I mean, you can disagree with my reasoning here, but this is the internet and this is the way things work. Now, if you're curious as to what exactly is changing with these new guidelines, I will leave a link to the updated guidelines in the description below. If you view Twitch or if you stream on Twitch, I highly recommend reading them to make sure you're in the know as to what's going on. As an FYI, if you didn't know this, on Twitch, if you were to say a certain group of people are smelly, well, you can get banned for that. The governance over Twitch etiquette is increasing exponentially. The best way to avoid any sort of issue is just to be nice to people. Don't insult anyone, don't insult a group of people. Just be nice. At the end of the day, most people are on Twitch to watch the streamer, hang out with the community, and have a good time. If you're not willing to have a good time, maybe just don't join the chat until you've cooled down. On the other hand, if you're in the mood to have more of an intellectual debate with someone, I guess you could probably just try to find a channel with other like-minded individuals and hope the Twitch cops don't find you. Now moving on to CD Projekt Red, and there's a couple of things here I want to talk about. First and foremost, the founders of CD Projekt Red have lost $1 billion due to Cyberpunk 2077. It's no secret that Cyberpunk has caused CD Projekt a massive headache. Their stocks have dropped. And this is where the founders have lost their money and stock valuations. In the beginning of December, they were sitting at roughly $122 American, and right now they're sitting at $82.50. Stock prices are still higher than they were when they started 2020, so I guess you could say they're kind of still ahead right now. There are a bunch of analysts saying that they're expecting stock prices to drop even further, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now, I'm debating on doing a full-blown video dedicated to Cyberpunk 2077 to go over why I think it's currently in this messed up state. But at a high level here, if we take a look at issues like this one, just a simple typo, or if you take a look at the numerous other issues, you could easily blame it on the game testers or the game coders, but I don't. I put the problem on something a little bit higher up. If you've ever heard the expression, I guess I won't say it in this video, but I'll just say issues flow downhill. Well, the issues start right at the top here, and that's exactly where I'm seeing is the potential issue for CD Projekt Red and the state of Cyberpunk 2077. They pushed out a game that wasn't ready. They pushed the development team, pushed the QA team to finish that, or at least, well, not really finish it because the game is in such a bad state, but at least get the game to a state where they can release it to people. They really hyped up the marketing and did a pretty darn good job considering how many people were excited about this game. The entire industry was excited about this game. And I think they were a little bit dishonest about the overall performance of this game on various consoles, pretty much all consoles, and even kind of on PC. If CD Projekt decided to delay Cyberpunk yet again, I don't think it would be good in terms of shareholder opinions or even their stock value, but at the same time, I can almost guarantee you it wouldn't be as bad as it currently is. The problem is it's now an uphill battle for reputation. Their reputation has taken a major hit. They're going to have to do very good things again and again and again. and again and again and again in order to regain that reputation, and it might not even be able to be regained. This is a very interesting situation that they're in. You think they would have learned their lesson from a game like No Man's Sky. This thing was a critical failure when it first came out. It's a better game now, but it took a heck of a long time to get there. Now, CD Projekt was in the news for something other than Cyberpunk 2077 today. They own GOG. Now, GOG had a very interesting tweet. They stated earlier today it was announced that the game Devotion is coming to GOG. After receiving many messages from gamers, we have decided not to list the game in our store. Now, this is a very interesting statement. This statement implies that people were complaining about Devotion coming to GOG and GOG just listening to the gamers and saying, okay, hey, you don't want the game in the store, we won't put it in the store. But I don't think that's the case. Earlier this year, Devotion was banned from Steam as well. The game was developed in Taiwan, and there was a part of the game that poked fun at the Chinese president. And it looks like the Chinese government didn't take kindly to this. Now, apparently that part of the game was patched out fairly quickly, but the damage was already done. Now, I haven't heard anything specifically from gamers over here in North America, especially in Canada, about having any sort of issue with Devotion, so I'm not quite sure where these many messages from gamers are coming from. I don't necessarily know how things are overseas. I don't know if there's a lot of gamers in the Chinese government. I really don't exactly know what's going on here. But what I can say is this is very interesting and it usually never ever happens. I mean, don't get me wrong here, but I am willing to bet that there are far more people on a global scale complaining about Cyberpunk 2077. And as far as I know, it's still available to purchase on pretty much every platform. Now, moving on to Granblue Fantasy Versus. If you still play this game or if you haven't played in a while, there's a brand new character that just came out, UL. Apparently she's pretty darn fun to play. Granblue Fantasy is also going the route of battle passes. So they have a premium battle pass coming out that will get you access to things like exclusive weapon skins and avatars and other goodies. On one hand, I like seeing additional content for the game, but on the other hand, this game is not cheap. Hopefully they use that additional revenue to implement better netcode in the game. The best part about battle passes is they are optional. You're not obligated to buy one, so if you don't really care about additional cosmetics for your character, then you should be okay without actually having to pick one up. On the other hand, if you're a huge fan of the series, a huge fan of the character, and a huge fan of customization, well, you might be stuck buying one. And last but definitely not least, I finally got my limited collector's edition Garou Mark of the Wolves from Limited Run Games in the mail. And this thing is awesome. The package was wrapped up pretty nicely in bubble wrap, so I wasn't worried about anything being damaged. Included in my package was the holographic Hokutomaru card. The case looks really good as well, exactly as it was pictured on the internet. The 3 art cards that were included are pretty nice as well. I wasn't really a big fan of the included poster. I mean, the artwork on the poster was nice, but the way the poster was folded ruined it. If you take a look along every single seam where this poster was folded, the ink has separated from the paper, so you're kind of just left with a permanently damaged poster. The mini Neo Geo cartridge was a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, but it's also pretty cool. The detail on this is nice. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this package aside from the fact that the poster is ruined. So now as to whether or not it was worth $60, I'll say as a huge Mark of the Wolves fan, I'm a little bit biased, and having a physical version of Mark of the Wolves on PS4, well, it was worth it to me, especially with all of this included stuff. It's a pretty cool display piece, it's an amazing game, and if you haven't tried it, at least try it digitally. You can get it for a lot cheaper. You can usually pick it up on Steam for less than $10, and it has rollback netcode. But anyways, that is all I've got for today. Let me know your thoughts on pretty much anything I talked about today in the comments below. I talked about quite a bit. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Thank you everyone, take care.